The Dropout, the Hulu series about Elizabeth Holmes and the Theranos scandal, which wrapped up this past week. Uh, Dave, I mean, after the first couple episodes dropped, we talked about this. You can go check out that review, and I think we really liked it. And we were kind of impressed with Seyfried's
Mhm.
transformation,
Yeah.
and just her performance in general. And I think there was a lot of intrigue about uh, what we were going to see and how it was going to kind of unravel. And now that you've seen the whole thing, did you feel like it met your expectations, or how did you feel about it?
Yeah, no, here at Theranos, we really liked the podcast, and we just thought the energy was really good, and just drinking that green juice. No, I thought the dropout was excellent, start to finish, and it's really great to have one of these like grifter founder shows that came out early this year, actually succeed because there's been so much of these, right? Inventing Anna, We Crashed, Super Pumped, and The Dropout. Dropout clearly rose to the top, and I think that's because the show tells a story in an interesting way, and that central performance from Seyfried is just really great. It's not
Yeah.
parody of Elizabeth Holmes and her put on affectations and her ridiculous or put upon dress and mannerisms and stuff. It's not like that. But the show also isn't just trying to be Wikipedia of the Theranos and Holmes story. It actually is trying to say a little something a little bigger about how it goes about the story. And I think that might perhaps present issues with the finale, depending on who you ask, because the finale doesn't exactly show us the just desserts that everyone wants to see, you know. But overall, I was quite impressed with it.
Yeah, I definitely was impressed with it. I thought it did a really good job of holding the tension of when are they going to find this out? Like how
Mm,
have they not found this grifter out yet?
for real.
And also kind of like just explaining the madness and like the manipulation that Elizabeth
Right.
and
Sunny.
Sunny were able to uh, execute on all these really powerful people. And I gotta say, if Seyfried wasn't good in this, the show wouldn't have worked. I think her performance is key to the show being interesting because you really need to believe that these rich white men are seeing something in her and seeing her as like this way of them saying something about themselves. And I think she does a really good job of kind of towing that line between like this is just like a fucking idiot who just kind of stumbled into this idea that people think is great and was able to sell
Yeah.
it and now can't execute, and also being like, but you also see the charisma that
Yeah.
Elizabeth Holmes had that
Mm,
people really bought into. So I think Seyfried's awesome, and Naveen Andrews is, of course, I think a brilliant, playing alongside her the whole time.
right.
Their relationship is so fucked up, so
Oh
fucked up
yeah.
throughout the show. Holy
Yeah.
shit!
Everything with Sunny and Elizabeth is awesome, and you never quite understand their relationship either, which I think makes it so
Oh,
good. You see all these things change with them. By the end, they're in this huge mansion, and before that, like halfway through the series, Sonny buys the Lamborghini or whatever it is, and it's
yeah,
like, but they're both just odd people, to
yep,
to put it mildly. And Elizabeth kind of never could turn it off and never actually was a real person until she created this persona when she made Theranos. But I said this in the earlier review. If she had maybe met someone really smart that had a good idea that maybe wasn't science based, just different kind of tech, probably could have been very successful because she was good at being a CEO in terms of getting funding and leading in the sense of instilling belief and faith from your followers. But I also really like how they contrast all that with Elizabeth Holmes' real life almost obsession with Steve Jobs and the idea of the founder, right? And it starts with her dress, right, and the black turtlenecks and stuff, but just her whole like ethos about just it's me that you're investing in, and you
yeah.
believe in me, right? It's you're like the with us or against us stuff. Like a lot. I just really like how they handled all that, and this kind of feels like the first really good example of like the sins of the founder since like the Social
Mhm.
Network. Honestly, it's been a while.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I'm trying to like think about which episode stands out the most, and I feel like almost every single one had something in it that I really, really liked. I think the episodes I maybe liked the most were when they were trying to sell Walgreens on
Yeah,
the
Alan
product.
Ruck.
Yeah, and you get Alan Ruck kind of running around as this like physician who believes in her while the other guy doesn't, and the other guy is very skeptical of the tech and really wants to see it, and you just get so much like good stuff in there, and then how they're playing them against that grocery store chain, and all like the manipulation and moves they do there is so interesting to watch. I also really like seeing Sam Waterston
Yeah,
as George Schultz, and
right.
his relationship with his grandson Tyler. I think
Yes.
that really drives home the like the different perspectives, that the people within this saw, like the people who did not have the financial stake in it could take a step back and see that what was happening was hurting people, whereas the people who seemed to have a financial stake in it were just so blinded and brainwashed by Elizabeth and Sonny that they couldn't see just how complicit they were in all this. And I think that was really powerful. Also, just thinking to like the scene where they go to Arizona, like the first time
Hmm.
with the Theranos blood testing thing, and they like walk into the room with all like the cancer patients who are just like so drained and so looking so haggard, and I think that really like drives it home when the engineer chemist is like, I can't do this, like this is not okay, and like you're just like, oh yeah, this is so fucked up what they're doing.
Mm,
I think the show does a really good job of showing just how gross Elizabeth and Sonny were in their
totally.
manipulations, and then all the stuff with Ian, of course, too, is like
Oh yeah,
very heartbreaking.
and Stephen Fry brings such presence as Ian Gibbons too. I think it was a
Yeah.
really good performance. But I also really enjoyed how the Dropout kind of slowly, when it made sense, expanded its purview. It really starts out just an Elizabeth series, but then by the end, we were spending time with Tyler Schultz and Erica Chung. It's like we're kind
Mhm.
of branching out as the story requires. I thought that was done well. Funny enough, Sam Waterston, man in his 80s, legendary actor at this point. He's like a good like 15 years younger than George Schultz actually was at the time of this story.
That's
George
crazy.
Schultz passed away in 2021 at the age of 100. He's very old when this was taking place. Uh, yeah, no, I think overall though, I think it's definitely worth recommending because, like I said, it's not just the Wikipedia of it all. It's I think trying to speak a little bit more about the sociopathic tendency that like the show actually has a point of view on that, right? Like, and they don't actually the dropout doesn't actually accept what Elizabeth has tried to say in court, that it was really Sonny pulling all the strings and he was the reason all this happened and manipulating me and abusing me and stuff. It's like the show kind of
Yeah.
is like, no, that's not really how this worked. So definitely going to be paying attention to when her sentencing happens. I know that the Sunny Balwani trial is still ongoing. They were being tried separately, so this story will probably have more information at the end of the year. But I feel like it's kind of a definitive series. We don't really need anything more on Theranos and Elizabeth Holmes because you got this.
Yeah, I agree. I hope we don't get more, but we probably will.
Oh wait, hold on. We're getting the Jennifer Lawrence Apple movie, so we're still getting more.
All right. Well, maybe we'll talk about that.